Hello, I'm Kevin IMP, and I'm speaking to you on population overstimulation can lead to agitation in situations. So, from the stimulus material, there was an experiment to see how many sensors surround you right now. And I was at my house in the kitchen, and I looked around and I thought about it for a minute and noticed that there are so many that there are, and it's frankly ridiculous. So the problem is that as a culture, we are being heavily overstimulated, and this is causing depression and anxiety in many people. So most of this stimulation is coming from our technology, be it our phones, sensors, TVs, and now cars. On the graph, you can see on the right side, it's a little confusing, but you can see the amount of time that people spend with their media every day. So, from the stimulus material, from Gershon Dublin, a PhD student at the MIT Media Lab, and from Joseph A. Paradiso, a professor at that same lab. We perceive the world using all our senses, but we digest most digital data through tiny two-dimensional screens on mobile devices. So, overstimulation causes anxiety and depression. So, if you're being overstimulated, your brain is most likely being overstimulated by many things. Multitasking is frequently thought of as being a good way to be able to do multiple things at one time, but realistically, a human cannot do that. And you think that you're working hard, but realistically, you're just tiring yourself out a lot. And according to Dr. Daniel Levitin, a neuroscientist at the University of Oregon, repeated task switching leads to anxiety, which raises levels of the stress hormone cortisol in the brain. Multitasking is a powerful and diabolical illusion. And finally, multitasking has been found to increase the production of the stress hormone cortisol, as well as the fight or flight hormone adrenaline, which can overstimulate your brain and cause mental fog or scrambled thinking. But it can also come from other things, such as clutter. So a poll conducted by About.com showed that 1/3 of all readers avoid going home because their house is messy and they feel overstimulated by it. And UCLA explored the relationship between clutter, families, and stress, and found that women are by far more distracted than men by the clutter. However, these problems comes with pretty easy solutions. So the first solution would be using the Pomodoro technique, of which has very easy steps. So the first step is to set your task. Decide what you're going to do, and just set the 25-minute timer. And the third step is to just do that task for that 25 minutes, and then at the end, take a 5-minute break, get up, stretch, do whatever you need to do, get a drink of water, and then do that 3 more times, and then take a 20 to 30-minute break. You can maybe go for a longer walk, or play catch with someone, like your dog. The time from Francisco Saez, a co-founder and CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, showing that he knows how to work. The time that a Pomodoro lasts aims to balance 2 forces. On the one hand, it must be an amount of time which represents an atomic unit of measure for effective work. On the other hand, it must be an amount of time that helps you be focused, but also be able to think very clearly. There are limitations and implications to this solution, however. Next slide. The limitations are that you may need a place where you're not able to clear away all your distractions, or you may not be able to get up and stretch after that 25 minutes is over. The implications are that your efficiency would greatly improve, and much more work will be done. The pros are that you'll be working hard for 25 minutes, and you'll be much more clear thinking than if you were working normally and you would be distracted. And there are no cons to this. Next slide. The second solution is mindful meditation. The overall goal of the meditation is to make you stable and relaxed. You need to have a quiet environment for this, and it typically helps if it's much less stimulating than your life. So it's typically dark, quiet, and it helps if it feels sacred to you. It fits well into busy schedules as well, which is very nice because 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening works very well, actually. In the diagram, shows all the main things necessary for meditation: breath, emotions, arms and hands, legs and feet, eyes, and time. So, like I said, for the time, 10 minutes in the morning and evening works just fine. A 2012 study from the Massachusetts General Hospital and Boston University found that participating in an 8-week program for meditation had positive effects on how the amygdala responded to stimulation, even when someone is not actively meditating. And a 2014 study from Johns Hopkins Medicine found that 30 minutes of meditation daily can improve symptoms of anxiety as well as depression. There are limitations and implications of the solution, however. The pros are that it decreases stress, calms the brain, and calms the body. From the Mayo Clinic, if stress has you anxious, tense, and worried, consider trying meditation. Spending a few minutes in meditation can help restore your calm and inner peace. Realistically, there are no cons because all it does is help. The limitations are that some people have extremely busy schedules where you're not able to fit this in, or you have no place to go where there's some nice peace and quiet. Implications are that you have a calmed brain and body, lower blood pressure, and lowered stress, which is all good. And again from the Mayo Clinic, with that in mind, some research suggests that meditation may help manage symptoms such as anxiety, asthma, cancer, chronic pain, depression, heart disease, high blood pressure, irritable bowel syndrome, sleep problems, and tension headaches. In conclusion, overstimulation is a very big problem in our modern culture. Nearly everyone has a phone, and it is very rare to not be overstimulated by it. And finally, after analyzing both solutions, the best would be to use both and get the best effect out of it. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Kevin. I do have a couple of questions. The first one, how did you select the strategies that you used to gather your information for the paper? And were those strategies effective? Would you do it the same next time?
Mostly what I did to get the information was I tried to look at EBSCO first, just so I could get some really, really good sources. And I didn't really get anything from there, but then I went to Google and found actually a lot of good stuff in there, and also Psychology Today. That was very useful because all doctors, it gets you really good information. And I also tried to go for news sites after that have done stories on overstimulation and other things of the sort and how to fix it, because that just helps you get perspective, and I think I'd probably do the same way again, just because it seemed to work out pretty well.
Good. Explain the level of certainty you have about your solutions. Do you feel confident in them, or would you like more time to evaluate them?
I mean, it'd always be nice to have a little more time, but I do feel like they work really well, because I tried the Pomodoro technique when I was making this presentation and making the script and everything, and it helped me work very well, actually, because you don't really realize it, but when you're working, you're almost always like your phone dings and you look over and then you lose all your focus, or if something pops up on the computer, then you lose your focus again, and you realize if you turn all that off and you just work straight on that for 25 minutes, you get a lot more done.
Fantastic. Thanks, Kevin.